Alright, time for the August pickup video. It looks like I finally backed off on collecting, doesn't it? Well, just you wait, looks gonna be deceiving. But let's get right into it. I don't think all this year I've shown any DC figures. I haven't gotten any. Well, this month rectifies that. Okay, I wanted another DC villain, so here's Larfleeze, a Green Lantern villain. Of course, the Green Lantern villain I really want, my all-time favorite DC villain, is Parallax. Yeah, there's the movie version of BAF, but I need the big old gold space cockroach that's been around since pretty much the dawn of time. But Mattel never got around to him. I doubt McFarlane ever will, so along with Sinestro, I now have Larfleeze, master the orange energy, ruled by avarice. Pretty much a public service announcement against hoarding. And here I am collecting figure after figure. Anyway, got him on the secondhand market, a bit pricey, but he comes with his own orange lantern. The shoulder... well, his right shoulder's fine. His left shoulder on this one is a bit stiff. He's got no bicep swivel, but he's got double-jointed elbows. Hand was in the way. He's got an ab crunch, waist swivel, thigh swivel, but no double-jointed knees. Usually it's the reverse. You get single-jointed elbows and double-jointed knees, but whatever. Feet don't move that much. And the wrists, they twist around and they move back and forth, so a good amount of posability, above average, and the sculpt is pretty good. I mean, look at that ugly face. Housing a mind that is incapable of thinking about anything else other than getting more stuff. Despicable villain. Still would rather have Parallax, though, but now I got another DC villain for the shelf. Here's the thing, I have so much more Marvel than DC, I try to keep my DC heroes and villains at an equal number. So since I got another villain, I had to get another hero. And while looking at auctions, I noticed one about to end for Zatanna, which I knew was also pretty pricey on the secondhand market. So I sniped it, and I got her. But is she worth it by today's standards? Well, let's get rid of the top hat, that comes off too easy. Got a decent range of motion in her shoulders. She's got a bicep swivel, but only single-jointed elbow. In fact, it doesn't even go to past 90 degrees, and she can only twist her wrist. She can't move them back and forth. There's an ab crunch, but I don't feel comfortable forcing her to crunch and get some abs of steel, if you know what I mean. And ooh, yeah, look at this fishnet pantyhose if you're into that sort of thing, but no double-jointed knees. These days, the Marvel Legends, the ladies, they don't have double-jointed elbows, but they at least have double-jointed knees normally, but she has neither, and the feet really aren't that posable. I'm afraid I'm going to break them off if I really try. So, definitely not as posable as Larfleeze. She does come with a wand. Oh, and her head, hair gets in the way, as you can imagine. Not very posable. But yeah, it's good that I finally picked her up. I mean, her clout has risen since the DC Superhero Girls cartoon came out. You know, the one from the person who spearheaded the My Little Pony reboot, Lauren Foss. I've seen clips of it. It's awesome, so it's good that I got Zatanna in my posse now. Screw the hat. But I gotta get some new Marvel stuff, right? Well, from the Toy Biz line for the original Spider-Man movie, we have J. Jonah Jameson, with J.K. Simmons' mug, who in those 3 movies looked like he just walked off the pages of the comics. He was so awesome at it, they brought him back for the end of Far From Home. How cool is that? Anyway, I got him for cheap because the lever for his desk-pounding action was busted. He didn't even come with the desk. But that's okay, he's in good condition otherwise, except this. Try to force his head back. This part will open up, so gotta watch that. Otherwise, good figure. A lot of range of motion in his shoulders, only a single-jointed elbow, and just can only twist the wrists around. But that's okay. Zatanna got away with that. At least he has a waist swivel. I don't think Zatanna had that at all. And single-jointed knees and can't really move the feet at all. But come on, Jameson's not exactly an action guy. He just likes to think he can be. So, I'll have Mary Jane Watson on the hero side along with Spider-Man, so might as well have J. Jonah Jameson too, and now I do. One complaint I had when getting more DC characters, you know which one I'd really like? Lois Lane, but they never made a 6-inch version of her. And now that McFarlane is doing it in that 7-inch scale, and they closed down DC Direct, probably never will be just a plain old 6-inch scale version of Lois Lane. Why can't I have that? Like I said, I've got Mary Jane Watson, who's Spider-Man's significant other, and the one at the paper he works for, who's he's closest to. Why can't Superman have Lois Lane to go along with his figure, who's both those things? Anyway, what else we got? Well, last month I got Double Dribble for the NES, found it at a store I finally braved in the midst of this COVID mess, so I went and got the Game Boy version. It was pretty cheap, and even came with the instructions. Yeah. Didn't know which way was up for a second. And if you've watched, like, my review for the original Child's Play, beginning my For the First Time series, you know I'm kind of getting into a horror kick, so I got a whole bunch. Here's the original Candyman. Sequel's coming out this year, that should be good. Got a 2013 version of Carrie. That's cool because I already saw the best part on YouTube. The prom scene where she goes apeshit. And Blu-ray for Bride of Chucky, which, as I said, was my introduction to the series, and still got a lot of nostalgic feels for this, and even found Halloween 4. I mean, they delayed the new Halloween till next year, so might as well catch up on the rest of the series while I wait, you know? Even though they're all supposed to be bad except the original in 2018, you know? Well, that looks like it's it, doesn't it? I mean, pretty light load, and nothing from Hasbro. Or is there? There's something I'm gonna show, but going into detail, it's gonna have to be a whole other video. Why? Well...